At Brown's Roofing, we put our customers first. Our expert project managers are there to answer all your questions and help you out with anything in need. When disaster strikes, either a hailstorm or a leaky roof, you need a contractor in which you can trust.
Hey folks, good late morning to you. Jared Floyd here with the Digital Weather Desk powered by Century Next Bank. Thanks for taking time out of the day to get a look at the forecast and the latest conditions across the region. As you take a look at I-20 and the traffic cams in Monroe, West Monroe, I really want to stress that these are the images of Monroe, West Monroe. And this does not fully encapsulate the story of I-20 across north central Louisiana. As you get out of the Ouachita River Valley and you get into the sharper changes in terrain, west of West Monroe, and then moving toward Calhoun, Downsville, Ruston, Shudrint, and then especially from Ruston to Arcadia, there are still a lot of problems with interstate traffic, and a lot of motorists are now stranded and have been stranded for 24 to 30 to 36 hours in some instances. I know that there are some resources making their way to motorists on the interstate, but again, it's still a really, really dicey situation for a lot of folks across the region. And as I mentioned in the comments, that there's also the prospects of a lot of areas and a lot of spots with facing another night without power and another night sub-freezing without power. Again, travel remains highly discouraged, especially as you move I-20 west, as I said, from West Monroe to Arcadia. That's where we're really seeing some of the biggest issues. Again, as you take a look at some of those surfaces in the Monroe, West Monroe area proper, I mean, things are okay, and some motorists are moving along fine. So there's going to be somebody that goes, I don't know what he's talking about. The roads are fine to me. Say the same thing to the folks that are stuck on I-20 right now. So again, that's our biggest problem. Power is gradually being restored. All resources are gradually being restored, but it's just going to take some time. A lot of folks still under boil orders, and those will also take time as water pressure eventually starts to rebound. I'll tell you one thing that you can do for those that are joining us. The one thing that you can do is we get to and above freezing this morning and through the afternoon. Turn those dripping faucets off for a couple of hours. We're going to need to drip them again tonight because a lot of us drop back well below freezing, but stop them for at least a little bit and let our water systems at least breathe some sort of a sigh of relief, because we've all been taxing the systems for the last couple of days. Power outage numbers, they are improving. I know a lot of folks don't feel that way, but they are. And again, this is a tedious, grueling process when you think about the widespread impacts. This is not a severe thunderstorm where a storm comes through a very small swath and then we just restore power to this whole swath. This is more hurricane-like nature in terms of widespread outages. It's not a hurricane, it's an ice storm, and we deal with these and the outages that are associated with them. If you've never been through one of these things, it just takes time. The more rural areas, they may even take more time because, again, you got a lot more roadways that may be impassable and all those types of things as service continues to be restored. The specific numbers, again, just depends on your populations across the parishes, but Monroe, it's really just the Ouachita Parish population. 44,000 customers still without power. Again, there are prospects and there are hopes that a lot of that service gets restored today, but I also want folks to not assume that they are going to have power restored today. In fact, you should probably assume that you won't get power restored today and be prepared. Robin says it's plain and simple. Don't travel I-20 westbound. Again, plain and simple, especially from West Monroe to Arcadia, do not take the interstate. Folks that travel it routinely, once you get past Shinny Drew, you start going through a lot of hills. Hills and ice do not mix, and a lot of folks are stuck. So again, please stay off. Do not travel unless it is absolutely necessary. And again, reach out to the folks that you can easily reach nearby. Jessie says she got power back around 3 yesterday. So thankful for our linemen working around the clock. Absolutely. They are We've got a lot of service crews across the area. If you go back to the I-20 traffic cams, every other vehicle seems like it is a utility truck making its way down the interstate, so we appreciate what they're doing. Here's some good news. We are above freezing, and we are seeing a lot of sunshine, so the melting process has begun. We will thaw out at least a little bit today. Just had another big limb snap off, so don't assume it's safe because it's pretty. That is a very, very, very good point, and that's something that I will probably really harp on this evening, is falling ice. As the ice starts to melt, it will fall in big chunks of ice. This is dangerous stuff. I know it sounds silly that, oh, I'm going to get hit in the head with a... No, it can be very, very dangerous. Tree limbs are still at risk of coming down, especially as now, as the weight of these limbs, as the ice starts to fall off, that'll also probably bring some limbs down as well. So there's a look at temperatures. Again, we are starting to warm up. Winds are out of the southwest, so that'll lead the warming trend. Here's something that a lot of folks probably don't want to hear, another hazard headed our way. It is not a widespread hazard tonight, but could be a possibility as we go into Wednesday night and Thursday morning. But you start seeing the potential for fog development. Fog with sub-freezing temperatures leads us to the possibility of freezing fog. What is freezing fog? It's kind of self-explanatory, but essentially when fog develops, the water droplets, when temperatures are below freezing at the surface, those droplets of fog can freeze onto elevated surfaces, bridges, overpasses, and things of that nature, and create a very small glaze of ice. Marlene asks if I have power or am I running? We are running on a generator here, or maybe you're not asking me, but I know a lot of folks have been asking me, like, do I have a power? No, we are still without service here. But boy, I can see the water just streaming off of our roof. And that's something happy to see, basically meaning we have started the melting process. But again, back to the freezing fog concerns. As we head through Wednesday night, Thursday morning, temperatures expected to again drop below freezing for a lot of areas. And so with that and fog formation, we could be looking at some very light glaze of ice accumulations across the region. And clearly Nick Mikulus does not understand that I'm in a live stream right now because he just called me, but I'll call him back in just a minute. Futurecast, high pressure at the surface, southwesterly winds. And speaking of Nick, who does Sinlaw weather, we were just discussing kind of the humanitarian crisis that's unfolding across the region. And he said, I don't think people realize how rough a lot of folks have it right now in northern Louisiana. And that's the truth, because it is such a highly concentrated area that got hit the hardest. I think it, and he even said, he was like, a lot of folks in central Louisiana, it's back to kind of life as normal. They had the ice and they had the issues, but they're kind of getting back to their normal day to day. And we're still stuck in trying to thaw out and melt this stuff off. So I know he's been checking in regularly on just the citizens of our area as we've gone through the last few days. Weak cold front passes through, doesn't really make that much of a difference. Sunshine through the day on Wednesday. The fog concerns Wednesday night, Thursday morning. Weak area of low pressure dives southeast across the area Thursday. That brings the reinforcing shot of cold Arctic air through the daytime hours on Friday. Maybe a brief opportunity Thursday night into Friday morning for a sleet pellet or a snowflake. Not expecting to be a problem. Skies will clear and it'll be another very cold weekend. And I'm not trying to borrow worry when I say this, but we also need to kind of assess the fact that it'll be another very cold weekend ahead. Many of us will see 30s for highs Saturday, low 40s for Sunday, with morning lows back into the 20s, perhaps the teens in some locations. So this is, again, a very, very cold air mass that sets in late Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Let's also be very realistic that there will be some spots this weekend that still don't have power restored, and we'll spend another 72 hours or so with some extremely cold temperatures. So again, for those that you can reach and that you can help, do so. If you need help and people are offering help, take that help. No time to be proud and to have an ego at this point. So again, we're still going through it, and while we're in the middle of a Tuesday afternoon and temperatures are thawing out, there's still a lot of folks struggling. So help where you can. 211 is a great resource to help connect you to resources in our area. I know that they are experiencing a very high volume of calls, but they are doing the best they can to help serve our community, and we appreciate them as well. High temperatures today in the low to mid 40s. Lows tonight back into the mid to upper 20s. Some spots well below freezing into the low 20s. Patchy fog is a possibility, especially across southern Arkansas, so freezing fog would be a concern. And then we return to the mid to upper 40s to near 50 degrees tomorrow. Look at the 7-day forecast made possible by 3B Hardware in Sterlington. They are open today. They are also a 3B Outdoor in Monroe, also open today. They are getting a new shipment of generators and chainsaws tomorrow. So again, if you have tree damage and you're needing those types of things, they will have kind of get resupplied, if you will. That's scheduled for tomorrow. And again, those folks stand by along with all of our local business partners, ready and willing to help you. 7-day forecast shows the freezing fog potential Thursday morning. Temperatures do rebound at least back into the low 50s for Thursday before we bring that cold air in for the weekend. And temperatures drop well below freezing for Saturday morning and Sunday morning. If there is any positive, it's that we get a chance to dry out. So we are going to be in a prolonged stretch of little to no precipitation. A lot of folks talking about day 4 with no power, no heat. Jamie says running out of firewood and propane, no power since Saturday. Linda says, my brother just rescued my sister in West Monroe that has no power or heat since Saturday. We have a house full here. We fed, at last count, I think we fed 11 with our frozen gumbo reserves last night. And we have a house full, and we may be bringing more folks in tonight. We're going to stack them in wherever we can. I'll sleep on the floor if I have to. But I suggest that you do the same. Be a neighbor. Be a good neighbor. If you have heat sources and others don't, help them out. If you have food and others don't, help them out. If you have bottled water and others don't, you have a supply, help them out. Yes, for folks that are getting the update and need to get off the live stream to conserve battery, please do so. This is where we're at. Janice, thank you so much. Generators will be at 3B Hardware in Sterlington. I believe they will have them at 3B Outdoor Equipment in Monroe as well, but I know they will have them at the Sterlington store starting tomorrow. I believe they are sold out as we speak, but they are scheduled to get a shipment tomorrow. You could call up there and get more information if you'd like. But yeah. Again, be a good neighbor. Help those that you can help out. Reach those that you can reach. But don't try to travel to reach folks, because you could become a problem yourself, and then somebody's going to have to come rescue you. And again, I know that sounds silly for a lot of folks. And again, there's a look at some of our local business partners that stand by ready to help you. Again, water damage, ServPro's waiting for you. If you got roof issues, Brown's Roofing's waiting for you. 211, United Way, standing by ready to help. All of these folks are here, good weather days and bad weather days, here to help you out. So again, there's a lot of folks that are looking at this going, he's being over dramatic. And then there are a lot of folks probably looking at me going, he's not being dramatic enough, because there's a lot of stuff going on right now. Hang in there. 211's right there for you if you need it. Call, utilize that resource. For those that are waiting for power to be restored, be patient, stay warm safely. Again, reminder, make sure that generators are well ventilated. Be aware of carbon monoxide hazards. Make sure that your heat sources, space heaters and things like that are away from carpets and drapes and rugs, things that can catch fire. Make sure that your smoke detectors and carbon monoxide detectors have fresh batteries. Don't use stoves or propane inside as a heat source. Again, all those types of things. Just be smart with trying to stay as warm as you can. Layer up, blankets and all those types of things, and just do what you can. And what I would, again, continue to stress to folks is stay optimistic, but I would also assume that you will not have power tonight. And if you do get power restored, then that's just you can consider yourself fortunate. We'll join you a little bit later today with another update as temperatures continue to warm up this afternoon, but will cool down again tonight. Forecast is always available at digitalweatherdesk.com and on the Digital Weather Desk app, available for Apple and Android users. Thanks so much for taking time out of your day. Conserve those batteries. Avoid travel if you can. Help each other. And we'll check in with you later this afternoon.